It is so important to me to ensure that this show only promotes positivity and love. Take this episode and use it to encourage yourself to listen to that inner voice, your intuition. Remember, intuition, by definition, is a thought before your brain overcomplicates things. It's literally our roadmap to happiness and success. All we have to do is learn to follow it. Together, we can reach our full potential and redefine life on our terms. Here's another show that's going to help you get even closer. Welcome to Inspired by JimmyL. I am brave, I am proof, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Calvin Wayman likes to think that he's just an average guy. But I assure you, he is not. He has conquered depression, being overweight, and having a 9 to 5 job. In fact, Calvin was bold enough to quit his job without a plan, without a vision, without some huge inheritance. Just the gut wrenching notion that there was a bigger calling on his life. Calvin has gone on to reach and impact countless people, being a speaker and educator through his podcast and certainly through his book, Fish Out of Water. That book is one of just a few that have actually changed my life. Let's check out the mindset of the man by
T, social media marketing world T. I'm golden.
Oh my gosh. All righty, everyone. Welcome to season 2 of Inspired by JimmyL. I'm your host, Jimmy Minds, and we have a wonderful guest on today. We have Mr. Calvin Wayman or Wayman?
Wayman, like that's the Wayman.
Wayman? Oh, okay. I like that.
Dude, I like your energy already, man. This is gonna be fun. I can already just feel the vibes. I'm digging.
Speaking of that, actually, which is, I've got to say this. Dude is the author of Fish Out of Water. And because of you, like, it really, like, it was the craziest timing on that. I want you to go off to your story in just a second. But it was the craziest timing of me reading that book and being forced out there, I shouldn't say forced, it sounds so wrong, but encouraged to actually purchase or go out and find a coach. And it was so crazy. I was reading the book and I was having a conversation with another friend of mine and completely not related to finding a coach. And the words out of his mouth was just like, what the hell is wrong with you? You need to kick the goddamn tires and move the hell on, and he had no idea what he was encouraging me on. But like, you opened that door and
there's no no accident, man. I'm so freaking glad that it came across your awareness.
I'm glad it did. So where the hell did why the book? Where did it come from?
Oh, dude. I think what's even deeper than that, I bet you if you polled your audience right now, in fact, I'm just going to ask it for whoever, if they're watching this online or listening to it, and you ask them, do you have a book inside of you? Do you want to write a book? I would venture to guess most of them would say yes. Maybe It's not right now. Maybe it's in 50 years, but sometime in your lifetime, do you want to write a book? Most people I ask that to, it's yes. And that was the true thing for me. Now, here's the thing though. Most people, at least for me, I knew I was going to write a book someday. I didn't consider myself a writer. I was just a regular dude. I knew I was going to write a book someday. But that was just the problem. It was stuck in someday. I didn't know when it was going to come forward. And when it comes to the answer of like what made me write this one and what made me get it out there, I have to give credit to my man, Caleb Maddox. Do you know Caleb Maddox?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. So before giving it away, so if there's anybody listening who doesn't know Caleb Maddox. So I had just barely done what you're doing with we talked a little bit before this, like you're stretching yourself, you're stretching your comfort zone, like you're jumping in. Right when I jumped into this whole world of entrepreneurship, like starting my own business, I was in a comfortable day job. I talk a little bit about this in my book, but I ended up just leaving my day job cold turkey.
Brave as hell. Oh my gosh.
Scary, but it was like the thing that I was like, what I would rather do that than wake up in 10 years and nothing has changed. But in that time, I found somebody that inspired the hell out of me. And it was this guy, Caleb Maddox, because Caleb Maddox had so many pieces in place that I was going after. Number one, he had a 6-figure plus business. That's what I was going after.
Okay.
He was on stages, which was something I wanted to do personally. He was speaking with some of my mentors, even like Grant Cardone or Gary Vaynerchuk. He was doing something with Tony Robbins. He had several books.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the punchline. Because this sounds like a really successful dude, right? Like a super successful.
100%.
This is the crazy part. Caleb Maddox, when I found this guy, 14 years old. 14, not 40, 14. Right? I was like,
What the hell? Yeah.
So Caleb Maddox that day became, I refer to him now as an excuse murderer. And he and I are good friends. We connect all the time. We text back and forth. We support one another. We've spoken on the same stages up to this point, which is actually kind of a cool dream or a cool play that I actually haven't really realized that we're to that point. But yeah, he is what took my someday goal of having a book he just was what made me realize I had no more effing excuses. The someday goal was now today. It was now. It was like, if this 14-year-old can do it, then Calvin can do it.
Yeah.
So I just made the commitment that day that I was going to write a book, and I did. Just put the date down and got started.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So going back just a little bit.
Okay.
While still at your employer, what was in your mind, if you can remember? Like, what was going through your mind?
I quit?
Like, not just why you quit, but why did you want something better?
Oh, dude, I definitely remember. I remember because I think about it all the time, and it still guides me when I'm doing other stuff that scares the hell out of me. First of all, it was like a long burning pain. It was in my DNA for a long time to want to make a difference in the world, to want to make impact, to want to be a millionaire. I don't think there's anything wrong with money, but even beyond that, I wanted to put value out into the world that would earn me the right to be a millionaire. I wanted to do something bigger. And I had dreams and goals of freedom. That was a major driver. I had such a huge core value of freedom to live the life that I wanted, freedom from debt that I was in, freedom to be able to travel, to leave the small town I was from, freedom to start my own business so that I could have the freedom to make an impact, to become a millionaire and all those things. And here's the thing. I wanted it for years. In fact, I remember dreaming about it when I was 15 and when I was 18. And then it's what made me go to college when I was 20. Something I didn't tell you that a lot of people don't know that I'm coming out more with is the environment I grew up in. I actually come from a very conservative family, but not so normal from most people. I actually grew up in a polygamous family. I have four moms. And I have 4 moms and a Mormon fundamentalist family, even though I had a lot of love my upbringing. I'm no longer part of that religion. But in the environment I grew up in, I felt somewhat boxed in.
Okay.
You know, like to carry on the family tradition of being a polygamist in the religion or carry on and all this. And I didn't want any of that stuff. So anyway, my point is, for the longest time, from like 15 to in my 20s, I wanted freedom and I wanted to create my own life. Not my dad's life, not my grandfather's life, not society's life, Calvin Wayman's life. So I went to college for the first time, or for the first person in my entire family, first generation college kid. And all of this is coming to the point of why I quit my day job. I had this desire for the longest time to go out there and do my own thing. But now we're in 2015. And I'm 27 years old at the time. I had wanted to go out and do my own thing for now 12 freaking years, at least on some level. And certainly within the last few years prior to this, because now I'm married. I got married when I was 24. I have a 1-year-old, and I'm still in my day job. So every year, I'm looking back and saying, when the F am I going to do it? When the F am I going to do it? When the F am I going to do it? And then this is what I'll never forget. I'll never forget the day I just finished a weekend retreat for the managers at my company. I went from, because I was like homeschooled and like super socially awkward, I held the record for the worst performance of that company, like for sales.
Okay, okay, hold up. I could not see you being socially awkward.
Dude, you should see
I
me
was
5 years ago.
oh my gosh.
I just barely did a podcast episode on this. Like seriously, I'm naturally an introvert. Right now, when I take personality tests, I come up as ambivert, so I'm both.
Kind of okay.
Right now,
Hybrid.
I made this son of a bitch. Like I was not this. Like this has definitely been a work in progress. But when I was in my day job, I ended up like I went from being the lowest, like literally I still hold the record at the company for the worst performance a sales agent ever had, to being the best, and I ended up being a manager. But it still wasn't my own thing. So for years, year after year, I was like, when am I going to go do my own thing? When am I going to go do my own thing? And after a weekend, all the managers got together and we did our whole quarterly retreat, like planning what we're going to do for the next quarter and stuff like that. And I just remember being so dissatisfied with life. Monday was coming like the next day and I was like, this freaking sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm going deeper in debt. What the F am I going to do? And I remember asking myself, well, I know very clearly that it's not this, but what do I want? And in that moment, I just started writing in my journal my life as though it had already happened with the things that I wanted. And I was like,
Okay.
I am so, and I did it like a year in the future. And I was like, I am so excited because I'm going to, I'm traveling to New York this week to speak on social media. I'm so happy that I'm completely debt-free for the first time in my life. I have my own business. And I started writing the things that I wanted. And I was like, yes, this is what I want. And then it triggered me into actually then visualizing myself 10 years in the future. And the 10-year, like now I was trying to decide, well, when am I going to make this happen? And I visualized myself 10 years in the future. And this is going to feel weird, but it was almost like I had a conversation with my 10-year older self. And I was like, okay, what should I do here? And my 10-year older, even more handsome looking
oh my gosh.
version of myself, I was like, bro, what should I do? He was like, just you wait until you see what we do, brother. And I was like, well, what should I do? Should I quit my job now? He says, well, listen, Calvin, you and I, we are going to get more responsibility as we get older, not less. Mm-hmm. So if you're ever going to quit your day job, if you're ever going to consider it, what are you waiting for? Do it now. And so that's what made me do it, is I realized that
you quit your job, no plan.
I had nothing in set in stone. I had a buddy who was in California that started selling solar, and I was like, that could be an option. I just barely got out of network marketing because my company went out of business, and I was like, that could be an option. I had some business ideas that I could try. Those were options. Yes. But so I had ideas, but you're absolutely right. I did not know exactly what step C or D was, but I did know what step B is. And step B was quit. Yeah. Because my goal, my Z, my end of the road was I wanted to have my own freedom, my own life, create my own business. And I knew that right now at position A, I was a fucking employee. So what was I doing being an employee if I wanted to be an entrepreneur? I either needed to call bullshit on my own story of what I'm saying I wanted, or I needed to punch fear in the face and realize it's there, like even acknowledge it and give it a hug and a kiss. But at the same time, I needed to not be advised by fear. And so speaking of fear, I think I want to go a little bit deeper here, because in that moment where I visualized myself 10 years in the future, and after my 10-year older self was like, if you're ever going to do it now, there's another side to this. I tried to feel what it would feel like if I didn't quit.
Oh, shit.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
What would happen if I woke up in 10 years and not a fucking thing has changed.
Calvin.
Or worse, I'm deeper in debt, deeper to where I want to go. And what if this desire, this feeling, this passion to create a business or to create impact or to put good out into the world, what if the fire that I have in this moment, because I didn't act on it, died?
Burned out.
What if it burned out?
Oh, okay. Wait a minute, Calvin. I've got to ask this because you touched on this. I've got to ask.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't want to go too personal into it. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go too far.
What you got to do?
Well, I don't want to go too far because but okay. So you had a wife, 1-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Did your parents or your family approve of this relationship and marriage?
Yes, because actually we were in my religion. I had a placement marriage. So in my religion, yeah, we still we practice placement marriage and stuff like that. So we were married by the church, kind of paired up by the church.
Gotcha.
So yes.
Okay. So when you decided to quit your job, was your wife on board with that?
She quit her job 2 weeks prior to me. So
oh my gosh!
Yes. I was really lucky there because this is the number one question I actually get. People ask all the time, how do you? Well, it's something around usually how do you balance your vision, your venture, your traveling, and family life, and then how the heck did you get your wife on board? It's one of those two questions. I get them all the time. So you are totally not out of the ordinary to
Well, oh my God! Because this is blowing my mind. Because I'm trying to think of what the hell kind of mindset do you possibly have? You have your family in the religion that you're not necessarily 100% okay and or want to stay in. You have a 1-year-old, which could not be more expensive, okay? And you have you have a family.
Yep.
So and I get it because the alternative.
You're hitting it right on the money, brother.
I get
Here's
it.
Here's how. I'm glad you're getting it because so many people focus on the positive vision and the why, which is awesome. I needed that because I had it. But I had this vision and this positive why for a long time. The thing that actually got my ass in gear finally was actually not a positive vision. It was that bigger fear, that bigger feeling of possible regret that I would feel if I didn't act.
Damn.
Because here's the truth.
Damn.
I was going to have a family period. Whether I stayed there or not. What was I going to do? Wait for 15 years? That's committing soul suicide. Or I just had to believe. It came down to also self-respect in a way. I had to believe after it plays out at the end of my life, even if we go that far, I would have rathered gone after it and set an example to my 1-year-old son and to myself or anybody else that I went after it to believe in myself and even fell flat on my fucking face and had to crawl back, then just wonder what would have happened if I ever took a shot. So that's kind of what went through my mind.
You are a freaking inspiration.
I don't think it was being brave or even courageous or anything like that when it comes down to it, because it was more life's hard no matter what. Going to the freaking cubicle that you hate, going through the freaking traffic, and dealing with people that you wondered you're on a different level because you're listening to audiobooks and all that stuff. That's already hard. Paying the mortgage or paying rent and not having money to do what you want, that's already hard. So what hard do you want? So that's kind of where my mind was going. It's already going to be hard. So what if I did something that, yes, this will be hard. And yes, I could fall, but I can always go back.
Yeah.
But I couldn't always have the least amount of responsibility that I have right now and take a chance and freaking go after it. So,
man. Calvin, dude, I'm about to cry because you're talking to me. You are flat out talking to me right now.
I was just barely there, brother. I'm just a step on the other side.
Oh, okay.
You're the type of people I want to talk to. I am passionate about talking to the person I was yesterday. And
Yeah.
it was so real. And it was so like, it's cool to listen to Tony Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk and all these cool people, but they're 25 years out of the game. I get it, man. I feel the
Just,
goosebumps.
man.
I was barely there.
Kevin! Oh my gosh. Like, dude, I just, okay, get it together. Because I swear to you, like, I'm still in the 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, a lot of my friends, a lot of my audience, like a lot of them are doing their own entrepreneur thing, still having jobs or kind of going through different jobs. And not to say that entrepreneurship is for everybody, not to say that, because I did an interview
100%, by the way.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
That's
like
wrong.
a guy that I've met, he loves his 9 to 5, freaking
Great.
loved it. And so, but again, it's about pushing yourself through that comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like it's really about that.
Out of your comfort zone, and you really do have to decide what you want.
Yeah.
The only thing that I like, in fact, I just made a post about this from Dr. Phil yesterday because he was actually talking with Oprah, and I caught it, and he was like, "Are you living an assigned life?" Meaning, are you living like that was to him was one of the most deadly thoughts and agonizing thing. Are you living a life based on your parents or based on society? And I would add to that, or are you living a life just because of fear? Now, that's what I think I got to the point where I was like, no longer negotiable. If you love it, like you're right, entrepreneurship isn't for everybody. Living the hardest life isn't for everybody. And just like for me, living the 9 to 5 life isn't for everybody. For me, I would rather shoot myself in the face, and I'm dead serious, and I don't want to be like be disrespectful there. Like I'm serious. For me, I would like my soul's face. Like that is soul suicide. For like, it would be better for me to be out on the streets and have to figure out how to break through that than to give up on it. Like that's how much it strongly felt for me. So the only two things that I is when I coach people through this, or if people are like wondering what's the right thing, is like, number one, what do you want? Just make sure you're making decisions that are not based on somebody else's values and decisions. Like don't live an assigned life based on your parents or based on society. And number two, don't let fear be the thing that's making the decision. If you love your 9 to 5, stay, but don't stay just because you're afraid of what will happen if you
because it's comfortable. But most of us now, and look, in our defense, most of us are programmed by our parents. You know, so you get those fears from them, and you determine what you like or you don't like based off of someone else's perception, who have obviously has been raising you until you grow up to find your own voice, your own footing.
Yes.
And like, but with you saying this, and it's actually, I know we're kind of wrapping up on time, but I want to ask you a final question, and I'm praying, oh my gosh, I got to feel it's going to be so juicy. But based off of what you just said and kind of going along these lines, and I know that for a fact that it looks completely different for every last one of us, but success and happiness, what does that look like for Calvin? Like, how do you define it?
That's such a good question. I am happiest and feel the most successful when I have freedom and get to play the game that I want to play. You know, like that's it. I don't mind going through the stuff that's hard if it's the game I got to play, that I decided I want to play. The worst thing in the world is getting to the top of a ladder that you didn't want to climb, you know, or it's against the wrong wall. And so my thing is, yes, this is shitty or this is hard, but I chose it. I chose this climb, whether it's to start a business or when I did something insane like running 50 miles, an ultramarathon, or writing my book.
I saw that. That was so awesome, by the way. But yeah.
Like that's what ultimately makes me feel the best. And it's not just the crossing the finish lines or the hitting publish or even the big thing. It's like, today, do I get to play the game that I want to play? And every day that happens, it just makes everything feel good. Like even the tough times, it's like, well, I got to choose this, and that's what I want. So
I love that answer. Kevin, I love that answer. I love that answer.
I've given it some thought, my man.
Man, do you have any advice to others that may be struggling with that a little bit?
Struggling with what specifically? Getting started, finding out what makes them happy, or what?
Finding out what makes them happy. And again, I know that it's different for us, and definitely trying to
Totally
break that mold. Yeah.
No. So something I'm huge on, because you're absolutely right. Everybody's different. Everybody, like we mentioned Oprah a little bit before here, so I'll give her a little bit of credit on this answer. I didn't get this from Oprah, but I think she articulates it better than I have explained it, so I'll give her the credit for it. And it's this: if you're trying to find out what makes you tick, get silent and get still. How long should you get silent or get still? Her answer is as long as it takes. So I'm very big on, this is something that I picked up out of necessity, because when I left my day job, I went to California and did door-to-door sales, which was no easy thing in and of itself. And so I picked up meditation out of necessity to quiet my mind. Mm-hmm. And that is a practice that I do every single day. But also what I'm a big fan of is once a quarter, I disconnect from everything. Literally everything. Yes, I have a wife, 2 kids now, and my business and I'm running, but once a quarter, I disconnect from everything and get connected to myself. So no email, no social media, no nothing, and I'm in silence with me for 2 or 3 days. Why? Because what I learned through this is I know the answer. And what I've learned is you know the answer. Everybody's different. Your mom wants the best for you. But guess what, brother? Only you can really say what is the next step. So that's what I recommend to people when they're trying to find out is just get still, feel into your body and into your soul, and ask what's next? What's the next step? You'll never know all the steps A through Z, but if you get still enough and quiet enough, you'll always get what is just the next step. So that's my method and my preferred way to find out what makes you happy and what makes you tick.
Hands down, I 100% agree. I told you about my spiritual mentor, and he started me on that journey probably about 7 or 8 months ago. And it has been the best decision of my life. Just even my conversations with my husband have been drastically different. Drastically different. And so I hands
just way
down,
way more present, like way more like, because you're connected to you. That's the thing that people don't get, man, is if you get yourself figured out, because people ask me this when it comes to my family, how did you do this when you have a family and a 1-year-old and now 2 kids and everything? People don't get it. I can serve them better when I'm connected to myself. I can serve them better when I'm living in my gift. It's not selfish. I'm being very selfish not to follow what I'm being passionate about. For real, brother. Yeah. You're being selfish to your partner, to the world, to society. Yeah. If you're not like getting clear on what you want and taking action based on what feels like the calling for you. So that's what I'm a big fan on. Get clear and take steps towards it, even if it scares the hell out of you, because it will.
Oh my gosh, Calvin, I thank you for this conversation. I
yeah,
really
brother. I knew this was going to be a good one.
Oh,
so thanks for pulling it out of me, my friend.
How can people get a hold of you? And by the way, like Calvin is so reachable, you guys. Like he is totally reachable. Like he did not hesitate to respond to me, like even way before the talk show itself. But
because you said I'm so easy to reach, there's something that I actually was going to do before you said that I've never done.
Oh my gosh, no way. Okay,
I'm gonna give out my cell phone number and my
God.
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. So so if anybody needs to chat, like maybe there's somebody here that's dealing through something specific and you just need to say hi or what's up, or maybe something landed for you here, or you just need a quick kick in the butt or something that direction. So my personal cell phone number is 801-759-8071. My email is just calvinwayman@gmail.com, and you can also find me on any of the social channels. Facebook is probably my easiest social channel to be reached, or Instagram, just by searching Calvin Wayman.
I'll link that up in the show notes here. But oh my gosh, okay. Look, last question. Oh my gosh, I forgot to ask you this.
Okay,
Are you
hit me.
still journaling?
Every day. I've been journaling. That's been the one keystone habit that I've had since I was 17. I've been journaling every single day, almost since I was 17. So that's a lot of days, because I'm 30 now. So 13 days, and almost every single day is accounted for. Little misses here and there, but pretty much every day.
You just encouraged me to do the same. Like, you really did. I've always hated journaling. Like, even listening to Hal Elrod, I've always hated journaling.
I did too. Can I give 2 tips to help you out?
Please.
If you hate it, you're going to have everybody that tells you to be romantic about it and to write it down on a paper with a pen because of whatever it does. Okay, listen. Any journaling's better than no journaling. I see a laptop behind you. You're doing a computer here. Do it on a computer, bro. Like, I journal just by typing. Literally at this point, it takes me less than 2 minutes. I have a Word document that I just go to and just do it really fast. And literally it takes a couple of minutes. And so that really helps. And it's also really cool after a while, because then you can use the search function and like search certain things, and it just finds it in the document. Like, that is what's cool. Like, one of the things that I did this last time, I tell you, where like at the end of a quarter or something, I'll go spend 2.5, 3 days by myself. That was actually really cool, because this last time I literally spent more than a day just reading my journals for the last 3 years, almost every single day. Bro, if you want to see something really cool, you don't realize how things are changing and how you are evolving. You think you do. You think you have memories,
but you're in the moment.
So you don't really know. And that was really cool. So I'm a big fan of journaling. Keep it simple. Type it out. What's also cool is my laptop and my phone's connected. So some days I'm so freaking tired, I don't want to get up to my computer. So I'll literally stay in bed. We're already on our phone anyway before we go to bed. So you literally can just go to the document, and I just type a few minutes, say, this is what I did. I did this awesome interview with Jimmy. It was awesome. I can't wait to post that to my social media. Today was a good day with my helping people get out of debt course. And yeah, things are going good with my new diet. Boom. And it's done. So.
Hot damn. Yeah. Got you. I'm going to start tonight. Small passage, but I'm going to start tonight.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll message you tomorrow.
I was going to say accountability all day long.
I will message you tomorrow. You have a 76% increased chance of doing your thing if somebody holds you accountable. So I will message you tomorrow.
All right, Calvin, again, thank you. I know we're pressed for time. I know you got somewhere else to be, but I definitely appreciate you for coming on. I really do. And thank you for all this knowledge. Oh, my God.
This was fun. Yeah, this was fun, Jimmy. So thank you so much. Let me know when it comes out, and I'd be happy to share it with my peeps.
Okay, will do. Thanks again.
Have a good night.
You too, man.
Oh, my goodness. I hope you took notes with me on that one, because that was some serious knowledge. If you have not already, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to our channel on iTunes or your favorite podcasting source. Also, visit us on Facebook, Instagram, or you can even catch the live conversations right there on YouTube. See you again soon. Until next time, let's make positivity even louder.